All right, this is your gambling god, November 14, 2019. We had a request to bring the camera in a little bit so you can't get the full scope of the hockey hats and all this kind of nonsense. But you'll deal with it. You'll get over it. You're adults. You worry about gambling. You don't give a shit about me, and that's okay. But I do love you. If it's a one-way street, it's fine. I've had plenty of one-way street relationships, most of them starting in strip clubs under severe levels of intoxication. I had a lot of girlfriends that I never saw in the daylight, which was probably for the best. One of them that I did see in the daylight, I immediately broke up with her because it was not a pretty scene. You know, when you have a girlfriend that is naked, that walks across the room in front of you, and you need to turn your head the other direction, that is grounds for immediate dismissal. Correct. So tonight we will do a quick review of last night of your fixed NBA, the National Betting Association. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's a little warmer than yesterday. Yesterday was fucking freezing. A little better today. Quick review of the 13th. We had Philly at Orlando. Orlando took this one as predicted. Not much to say here. Obviously fixed. Orlando took it. That was a winner. Memphis at Charlotte. Memphis won. We had Charlotte. We did not get that one correct. Sorry about that, boys and girls. Next, Washington at Boston. Boston won, I believe, by exactly 7. I did tell you to take Boston. I didn't really care about a cover or not. I just said take Boston. I didn't get a read on whether Washington would cover or not, but we did predict Boston. So we're 2-1 there. Clippers at Houston. I had the Clippers. That was a loss. The Clippers game really is a statement to me about the NBA and how they're resting players and how are teams supposed to get their rhythm and get to know one another and play with one another and get their continuity going if one day Kawhi Leonard plays, then the next day he doesn't, which he won't be tonight, and then Paul George plays tonight, but he didn't play last night. How are they going to develop chemistry and begin to jive as a unit if they're just this load management nonsense is going to continue? You know, when the Celtics had Garnett, Pierce, Rondo, and Allen, they played together the whole year. There was none of this crap with load management. And one of the reasons that they won was because they got to know each other. When LeBron went down to Miami to play with Wade, and Bosh, the first year it was rough. They didn't know each other. They played together. There was none of this load management crap. You have guys now. You have Paul George and Leonard alternating days off on back-to-backs. I don't know how this is going to work out. Last night you saw the Clippers never were in the game, even though Leonard had a nice game. They lost that one, making us 2-2. I liked San Antonio at Minnesota. San Antonio wasn't close in that one. We missed that one. I told you to take Golden State to cover. They did not. So that was a loss there. I told you to take Toronto to beat Portland, and they did. So all in all, Orlando winner, Boston winner, Toronto winner. Those are 3 wins, 5 losses. Not a good night in the NBA. But like I told you, the NBA, because of these load management games, is not my favorite sport. I like hockey. Not that I did much better in hockey last night, but I did hit a couple. Actually, I was much better in hockey. But basketball, totally fixed. And if you want to bet on basketball, you're taking your life in your hands. To me, it's not a wise play. I will continue to give you my predictions based on a gambler's point of view, just purely on a gambler's point of view. But in some regard, you are better to go to your 8-year-old nephew and ask him who's going to win the games. But we will track them. We will go through the teams, and we will spot the trends. I will give you value and tell you what games I think are most fixed as we go through the season. College, I took Villanova to beat Ohio State. Of course, Ohio State blew them out. It was 50-50 on games where there's a 1-point spread like that one. Flip a damn coin. Ask your nephew. Ask some old Jewish woman in your neighborhood what color she likes on the jerseys. That's your best bet on that one. College basketball is as fixed as they come. A 1-point spread, I think, ended up in a 19-point win. Just absolutely makes no sense. On to hockey. Last night we had Ottawa to beat the Devils. I told you to parlay Ottawa and the Blackhawks. Nobody would have bet the Blackhawks last night. That's why they won. They went into Las Vegas, and for those of you watching, the team actually plays in Las Vegas. This is a huge hint that their games are fixed. So Ottawa, Chicago was a winning parlay that probably nobody put together, but I did tell you to try it for a few dollars. I'm sure it paid well. The Devils were minus 181 and Vegas was minus 238. If you tried Ottawa and Chicago on even a $10 parlay, I guarantee it paid at least 90 or $100. It had to be a 9 or a 10 to 1 shot. Toronto with the Islanders. I had Toronto. They lost 5-4. They had it tied 2-2. Islanders edged them out. I believe it was in overtime because every game goes to overtime. Washington at Philly. I had Philly. Washington won in overtime because every game goes to overtime. And I had Dallas last night. Here we are, defeating the Calgary Flames, who went down in flames last night. It was 3-1 last I checked. I believe they won maybe 4-1. They probably got the empty netter at the end. So summarizing hockey, Ottawa winner, Dallas winner, Chicago winner. And the 2 losses were in overtime. Even if I split those, I would have been 4-1. But 3-2 in hockey last night. But most importantly, 2 great value plays in Ottawa and Chicago. So now we will go to your fixed NFL game for tonight. Thursday night football. Of course, they are thinking about a 17-game schedule. Why not? I think that they should just go play the whole year, 12 months, and have 1 game every night, put it on pay-per-view, maybe 2 games, start one at 8, and then do one at 11. Why not? 10 or 11. The people will watch it. They will order it on pay-per-view. They will tailgate. They will take off from work. They will divorce their wives. They will empty their bank accounts. They will do anything that they need to do to watch professional football. If you watch professional football, you see those guys in the stands. They've got no hair. They've got no shirts. They're painted with shoe polish. No women are having sex with them. You know this. They're tailgating. They're barbecuing. They're drinking. They're power slamming each other on tables at the Buffalo game. There are fires being set. There's no police anywhere. Cops just let this happen, no problem. Set stuff on fire, powerbomb your friend through a picnic table you bought from Costco, have some ribs, paint yourself with shoe polish, go into the stadium, drink yourself blind. Absolutely blind, just so that you could watch your team lose. Just go ahead and do it. I'm telling you, that's the way this is going. They're going to probably get rid of the preseason altogether. They're going to play a 365-day a year schedule. I think they should personally play every game in Las Vegas. Might as well. I think the NBA should be played in a prison yard. I think most of these players look like they just got out of the precinct. They just got out of the clink in the NBA. I told my friend John this. They should just play it right in a prison yard so these guys can go right back into the cells. You look at him. You look at JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee literally looks like he just walked out of cell 104 in Monmouth County Correctional Institution. Okay? Literally looks like that. Okay? And I say this because I was in cell 104 at the Monmouth County Correctional Institution. And that's what my freaking cellmate looked like. And set him right back in. You give him his meal. You let him eat his beans and his piece of cornbread and his bottle of milk and his apple for breakfast. Let him go out there, block a couple shots, and get right back into cell 104. Maybe let him out an hour to take a shower and call his friends to make sure that his weed is being sold. So we will now go on to your fixed NFL game for tonight. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 4-game winning streak at Cleveland. Pittsburgh with Mason Rudolph at quarterback against Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. In college, this would have been a great one. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, the 2 quarterbacks from college now meeting as professionals, I'm certain, for the first time. I'm taking Cleveland here. It makes no sense. You like the Steelers. Everybody likes the Steelers. They're +3. They are one of those teams that everybody bets on. Everyone's going to take the Steelers +3. Again, like they took the Bills +3. I told you last week, take Cleveland because it's fixed. I am not giving you these picks based on athletic ability. There is no athletic ability here. I don't care about James Conner or Jalen Samuels or Juju Schuster-Smith or any of these players. Bud Dupree. I don't give a shit. Okay, who's on the field? The uniforms are just a mask. It doesn't make a difference. Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt. I don't care. This is all designed to take your money. I'm taking Cleveland -3. Sorry, on the money line. Don't ever take these fucking teams by -3. You take Cleveland -3, they're going to win by 2. I'm telling you it's going to happen. They'll kill you with the spread. We're not even good enough to pick the winners, okay? I'm not getting involved in the spreads. I'm just not doing it. You want to do that, graduate, pick a winner. Just pick the winner first. Then work on the spreads. The spreads are for the alumni. The money lines are for the freshmen. It's hard enough to pick the winner, okay? If you want to take Pittsburgh on the money line, or you want to take Pittsburgh plus the 3, I think it's a mistake. I think they're begging you to take Pittsburgh like they were begging you to take Buffalo. Pittsburgh is one of those teams like Dallas and the Yankees that everybody bets. People that don't know anything about sports, they know the Steelers, they know the Cowboys, they know the Yankees, they know Duke. These are the teams that throw games, all right? And I think the Steelers throw this game. They were 1-4. Tomlin rallied them to a 4-game winning streak. I think that Cleveland wins the game. They tighten up the division, which is what the NFL wants. More interest, more money, more beer, more shoe polish, less sex. The women that are married to these shoe polish wearing men, they put the shoe polish all over their bodies. They go have sex with the athletes. You see it happening constantly. And that's just the way that it is. All right, these guys they're just hopeless. So we'll take Cleveland here to win this game. I have no feeling on the spread. The total, take the under, which means it will go over. So tonight in your fixed NBA, we have the Dallas Mavericks at the Knicks. As you all know, the Knicks are coming off a win. They're coming off a loss to Chicago, which is totally embarrassing. But they went into Dallas last week and they beat them as an 11-point underdog. I told you to take the Knicks plus 13. I told you to buy it up. Here, you have to figure Dallas wins this game. I cannot take the Knicks to win or cover any games based on what I've seen. They're an embarrassment. Their coach, 1 year into his contract, is already, there are rumors he's going to be fired. Take Dallas to win. I have no feeling on the Knicks covering. If you're feeling frisky, take the Knicks to win in a small parlay with the Nets. But I got to tell you something. The Knicks are just a mess. And most people are going to take Dallas to win. That's probably why the Knicks will win this game. But just based on what I've seen, I would kind of hold off on any Knicks games. And there's no value really in Dallas. I'm going to keep shopping around. Next, you have the Clippers at New Orleans. I like the Clippers here coming off a loss. Doc Rivers will have them ready to play. New Orleans plus 4. I think the Clippers win and cover. I'm not telling you to take the Clippers to cover. Just take the Clippers to win. Chicago at Milwaukee. I think Chicago covers this spread. It's 11.5. Milwaukee is a very good team. They're one of the favorites in the East. The Bulls have some good young players. Zach LaVine, we liked him at UCLA. Lauri Markkanen, we liked him at Arizona. Buy it up to plus 13.5, but even still, take the Bulls to cover this 11.5. If you can get it at 13.5, have at it. Atlanta at Phoenix, tricky here. Phoenix now in a position where they're a 7.5-point favorite, playing better. I think this is a trap. I think Phoenix wins, but I think Atlanta gives them hell. Atlanta just came off a win in Denver. They might be using Atlanta to take everyone's money. Again, this has nothing to do with how good Atlanta is. It has to do with what the bookies are doing. The bookies might be working the Atlanta angle here, a bad team on the road. Remember, Atlanta beat San Antonio maybe 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. Then they go into Denver and win. Very strange. Now Phoenix is suddenly a 7.5-point favorite. I think Phoenix wins, but I think Atlanta covers. Take Atlanta plus 9.5 if you can buy it up. Let's see what happens on that one. There's no value in taking Phoenix to win. Brooklyn at Denver, ton of value here in the Nets. Got to check and see if Kyrie Irving is playing. I have not checked on his status. Last I saw that he may or may not play. I don't think it matters. Take the Nets to cover. Buy it up to 9.5. You could even take the Nets to win, especially if Irving is out. No one will bet the Nets. It's the late game. Take the Knicks and the Nets in a $10 parlay. See what happens. Again, I'm not saying it hits, but what I am saying is that from a gambler's perspective, people are going to say, "Oh, Dallas-Denver is the parlay. Dallas is going to get revenge on the Knicks, Porzingis and Doncic and whatever his fucking name is." Denver coming off a home loss to Atlanta. They can't lose 2 in a row, especially not to the Nets without Irving. I can certainly see the Nets going into Denver and winning, especially when the Nets came off that heartbreaking loss to Utah the other night where they led the game and let it slip away in the fourth quarter. So to review, we will go Dallas to win. Knicks potential upset, but don't love it. Knicks scare me. Dallas to win. Clippers to win. Bulls to cover. Atlanta to cover. Phoenix to win. Nets to cover and possibly to win. Take the Knicks and Nets in a $10 parlay, see what happens. That's your NBA for the 14th this Thursday. NHL, Rangers at Tampa Bay. This is your game where you will see what if the Rangers are for real. They're going into a hornet's nest in Tampa. Tampa has been up and down. They're not impressed this year. I think they'll turn it on in the playoffs. The NHL owes them for throwing the first round of the playoffs last year to Columbus, which they clearly did. If you think that Tampa Bay literally lost 4 games in a row to the 8th seed, and then actually they, at a certain point, just stopped scoring, you're on the good drugs. So the Rangers here, there's no value in Tampa. They're minus 272. I think the Rangers can upset here. They have been good this year. I think there's value here in the Rangers. If you want to really get frisky, you can go Rangers and Nets, because the Nets go later. I like to stagger my parlays, where the team that plays later, I will take them with the team that plays earlier. Example here, Rangers at 7. Brooklyn's got to go at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at the earliest. So Rangers, Brooklyn would be an interesting play. But I do like the Rangers here in this spot. They have been frisky. They have been playing better. Tampa Bay minus 272. There is no value there. The Rangers are a clear value play. Carolina at Buffalo. Here, tricky one. I like Carolina. They're the better team. Buffalo does play well at home. I can't promise you one way or the other, but I like Carolina. I'll take them to win. I don't have much of a feeling on Buffalo. Again, they do play better at home, but Carolina is the better team. I will take them in a shootout because every game goes to overtime. Winnipeg at Florida. I will take Florida. Florida's a tough team coming off a win in Boston. Winnipeg is good. They just got shut out at home 4-0 by Colorado. I'll take Florida, minus 174. No value there, really. Maybe you want to try them late with a parlay with Anaheim. Again, you want to stagger your parlays. So a Florida-Anaheim parlay for $25 might pay off. Let's go Florida in that one. Arizona at Minnesota. Minnesota is coming off a loss to the Kings, which surprised me. I will take Arizona in this one. I like Arizona on the road. I liked them last year. They came on late. They played well. They're playing well again this year. They're in Minnesota. They do play well on the road. I will take Arizona to win this game. It'll be tight. Probably go to overtime because every game goes to overtime. Colorado at Edmonton. I like Edmonton here. I think they just came off a home win against the Devils where they smacked them around. Colorado comes off a 4-0 win in Winnipeg. I like Edmonton. They're the better team. I like Colorado. I think that Vegas cashed in on Colorado in that game against Winnipeg. Nobody expected Colorado to beat Winnipeg 4-0. Let's go with the Oilers in this game. Dallas at Vancouver. I have my Dallas hat on. I'm a fan of Dallas. I'm a fan of Vancouver too, but there's value here with Dallas. Dallas came in. They beat Calgary the other night in Calgary. I think they go into Vancouver and win. They're the more experienced team. They're the grittier team. They're the better team. They have the better goalie. They have Jamie Benn. They're well coached. They're playoff tested. Vancouver at minus 148, no value. Let's go with the Dallas Stars to win this game. Next, the Anthony D special. San Jose at Anaheim. Anthony D wants me to tell you that if Aaron Dell is in net to take Anaheim, I think that's his advice. I'm not sure, but I don't really give a shit who's in net. I like Anaheim to win this game. There is value in San Jose. They're playing better, but this is on the road. Let's see what they do on the road. It's not far down the road from San Jose to Anaheim, but it is a road game. I like Anaheim here. I think Anaheim wins the game. They're coming off a home overtime loss the other day to Detroit. Again, because every game goes to overtime. I think Anaheim bounces back. San Jose loses its magic on the road. Let's go with Anaheim in a 3-1 win over the Sharks. Last but not least, Detroit at LA. We will go Detroit. We have not been able to pick a Detroit game correctly this year. LA comes off a 3 or maybe a 4-1 win over Minnesota the other night. I think that was their fixed game. I think they have to give back. Detroit's been playing better. I think there's value in Detroit here. Any early game you might want to parlay with Detroit. Give it a shot. Rangers, Detroit looks decent. Florida, Anaheim, I like. Arizona, Detroit could be decent. You could mix and match. You want to go Clippers and Detroit. You want to get sexy. You want to try Chicago Bulls as a potential $5 parlay with the Detroit Red Wings. That's possible too. So that's something I would consider in an early kind of a matchup. You want to go Knicks Detroit $5, $10 parlay for fun. That's something that I would look at. Not that the Knicks are any good, but these games are fixed. There is no rhyme or reason to what happens. If you know, there isn't. I mean, the Knicks won in Dallas last week. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. There is no way to budget what's going to happen in these games. You have to kind of you got to fly blind sometimes and look at these games for what they are. They are a mechanism and they are a conduit to take your money. Again, this has nothing to do with athletic ability. If it was athletic ability, LeBron James would win the NBA title every year. Okay? It has nothing to do with that. This has to do with who the bookies want to win, who's betting the games, where the money lays, and how they can maximize their profit and put people on the street, end marriages, ruin people's lives, etc., etc. Last but not least, we have the NCAA. We have Michigan State at Seton Hall. No one's going to bet Seton Hall. Let's take Seton Hall to win this game. Last year at the beginning of the season, I had Kentucky going into Seton Hall, and I had Kentucky to win the game. Seton Hall tied the game with no time on the clock with a three-pointer, sending it to overtime, because every game goes to overtime. And then Seton Hall beat Kentucky the same way at the buzzer on a basket with no time left. That was heartbreaking. I will not forget it. And let's take Seton Hall to beat Michigan State. At least take Seton Hall plus the 5. And I'll take them to win. It will not be easy. I am not doing this because I think that Seton Hall is a better team. I am doing this because I think that the bookies are counting on everyone taking Michigan State to beat Seton Hall. And so I will take Seton Hall to win this game. So reviewing your NHL, we will go Rangers, Carolina, Florida, Arizona, Edmonton, Dallas, Anaheim, Detroit. That is your slate for Thursday, November 14, 2019. We are in the studio here, the Gambling God. We are continuing to clean out the studio. Spectrum is coming tomorrow. They will be here to install the phone lines. I ordered a speakerphone from Amazon today, $14, very cheap. We are going to have the speakerphone here. We're going to have the Gambling God hotline. I've sent you the number. It's a 347 number. I don't have it memorized yet. I'll run it across the screen when we get technologically sound. But we are going to feature call-ins from our favorite guests. We have Joe the Barber, our boxing guest, Anthony DeGennaro, our hockey guest, my friend John Cass. When he's not drinking, we'll be talking about professional wrestling and NBA. A lot of my friends talk NFL. We'll have a varied bunch on that. My friend Rick will call in and talk about what full-grown men eat and do. And a lot of my black friends will be calling in with God knows what kind of stories. So I invite you. We will be going over recipes. My friend Brian Oakley will give you recipes for short ribs. We have all kinds of baking recipes. We'll have my aunt come in here. We'll bake something. I will have people come in here. They will get baked. If you want, we have a whole studio here. You can't see it. I'm going to set up a bigger camera, maybe a second camera, where we will have guests on the couch. I don't know what we will do with those guests or what they will do with each other. But, the more the merrier here in studio at the Gambling God studios on Staten Island. And so I invite you to join us. We will have cat care. We will be going into the toilet with cats. And we will be training them to use the toilet on a regular basis. I will have people come here, and we will show the cats how to pee and poop in the toilet using the litter quitter. If you have any questions about cat care, you can please ask when the hotline is open. I will have cats attacking me. I will cover myself in nip, and I will have the cats nip me. My girlfriend has a pit bull. I will release it into the streets and we will follow it around. So there's a lot of exciting things coming. We have a stuffed chicken delivery business that we are starting. If you guys are interested in a delicious rotisserie chicken stuffed with yellow rice and roasted potatoes with peas, corn, and some red peppers. For $24.99, it feeds a family of 4. We will be delivering that. I will have an entire menu that you can order from. We'll have like a little, interactive website where you can, push buttons and order stuff. We have a baked ziti. We have a short rib lasagna. We will have a short ribs and mashed potatoes. We are going to be delivering food to the people, so you could sit in the comfort of your home. We're going to live stream. You could watch the Gambling God, take phone calls, train cats, eat the short ribs. You never got to leave the house again. It's cold. Why would you want to? You would much prefer to sit here and watch the Gambling God talk about the Rangers and talk about the Stars and talk about the Nets. We're going to have TVs. We'll watch the games together. You can call in during the game, and we could rewind and go over some of the fixed plays on Sundays, on Saturdays and Sundays when the NFL is on. We will have the NFL games on. You can call in Spectrum is coming to hook up the cable. We're going to have access to the outside world. I want you to call in. I want to hear what you have to say. You have nothing better to do. I have nothing better to do. I mean, I literally have nothing better to do now. So we'll talk sports and anything else that interests you. So the Gambling God is going to sign off right now. I have to go eat a sandwich. That's a main priority in my life right now, is to get a little sandwich, get a little turkey, ham, cheese, a little lettuce, tomato. In the comments, let me know what kind of sandwich you like. I'll send you one, Rick, if you have a preference. You know, we do have postage to send sandwiches. You know, if you like a salami sandwich, you please let me know that. You know, let me know what you want on the menu. The idea is to be interactive. In the comments, let me know. We're going to stuff the chicken. What do you want your chicken stuffed with? We have a sausage stuffing that we, with like you know, the bread and the sausage stuffing. We also have the yellow rice stuffing. You let me know. Do you like burritos? Would you like a steak burrito? Would you like a chicken burrito? We are doing these things for the people. We are going to deliver lunch and dinner for probably the next however long we're going to be on the air. So if you have a certain dish that you like, if you want me to make you Thanksgiving dinner, I brine my turkeys with bay leaf and a nice broth and, you know, peppercorns and garlic and onion. We will brine turkeys. I will deliver a roasted turkey to you if you're into that, if you like turkey. I don't like turkey for Thanksgiving. I like the cold cut, but on Thanksgiving, I eat the side dishes and the pasta that we make. But the actual turkey itself, not for me. So the Gambling God, we are branching out. It's not just gambling advice. Of course, we like that. We're going to get a dictionary down here. We're going to do a word of the day. We're going to educate the people. We're going to go over certain terms. We're going to explain how certain phrases that are being used in the media are not proper English. Sometimes if you guys are on the internet, you're browsing or you're watching TV, you will hear people use a certain phrase. They'll say, "This is very concerning to me. This is improper English." I won the English award. I have a journalism major. I would like to educate people. I will give explanations to you and let you know that this is not proper English. Concerning is not used that way. Concerning is such, like, for instance, the phone call was concerning the cancer diagnosis. That's the proper way to use that word. Kyrie Irving's knee injury is concerning to me is improper English. I'm hopeful that all of you out there, all 16 subscribers, know this. But if you don't, that's my tip of the day. We will also open the dictionary to a random page. We will go through certain words. We will have guests come on, and we'll get them drunk and to see what happens. We'll follow them around the streets. I will release them into society, and we will just see what happens. So we will talk blackjack, any other games of chance you want me to talk about. If you like Keno, if you like those Chinese games with the dominoes that they play, whatever it's called, Baccarat, we'll talk about it. We'll give you the phone number next time. I don't know it by heart. I will have it ready for you next. It's a 347 number. But the Gambling God has got to go eat his sandwich. We got a little turkey, ham, and cheese, a little lettuce, tomato, red wine vinegar, oil, a little salt, pepper, and a lot of mayonnaise. I'm signing off. Rick, I know you like the mayonnaise. Anthony D, the Sharks are going down tonight. And we will end this. I have to turn the video off because this is not like some high-tech situation. But Anthony D, this is for you. The Sharks go down tonight.